guys, what's up? I'm Brian here doing a new video for you guys, and this time I'm basically comparing all these Predakings in one video. Now, unfortunately, I do not have the oversized version of the Cyberverse Predaking. I might get that eventually, but at the time right now, I do not have that. All I have is the Voyager, the Ultimate Predaking, and the Cyberverse Predaking. Now, I'm going to look at these one by one. First off, we're going to take a look at the Cyberverse figure. And let me fix up the lighting. Now, for the Cyberverse figure, it's not a bad figure, but it's just not my forte. But I do like it a little more than I thought I would. I don't know, just its look and aesthetic. I don't like that you have to have the arms down in this position, because these legs will not move, and if you have it down like this, you know, the legs won't line up. So that's something I don't like. So yeah, it is a little thing, but it's something. No head articulation. There's basically nothing in the head. I mean, you can move it up and down, but you're pretty much dislocating it. And the gun just hooks up to the back, but all their weapons just basically hook up to the back. Doesn't look as bad as I thought it would, and the transformation makes for a very good looking Predaking aesthetic wise. It's just there's a few changes I would have made to the final version of Predaking if I had the choice. Next up is the Voyager Predaking, which is probably my least favorite. I'm sorry, I'm not a big fan of it. I'm really not. It might be because I have some loose joints on mine, but I'm just not a huge fan of it. In its dragon mode, I actually like Predaking more in its dragon mode, because I mean, I don't like the body aesthetics, though I like how it transforms. It's just a little awkward for me. And I do like the head. I really like this head. I think it has the better head out of any of these Predakings. I know it's rubber in this section, but it articulates more than any of the other Predaking heads, so I really like that. Yeah, my biggest issue are the loose joints, which I'm pretty sure will vary from person to person. But it's mostly these wings. So yeah, that's something I don't like. He has the best tail. I actually like that tail, so yeah. With that being said, that's the Voyager Predaking. And taking a look at the Ultimate Predaking, this one, just aesthetic-wise, is my favorite. Although I do not like the fact that the mandibles on the top of the head actually go with the bottom of the jaw, so that's a little awkward aesthetic-wise, but nothing too major. I do like its look. I love the wings. The wings are probably the best part about this Predaking, although they kind of fall apart from the body. It's not too big of a deal, and oh god, I love the articulation of this. Now, with that being said, he doesn't really have the best articulation anywhere else. I mean, he barely has any articulation in the legs, you know, his arms actually articulate quite well, but his head is part of a gimmick, which I don't like. I wish that they just swapped out the heads for these, like made this bigger to attach onto this, because this is a nice head. If they put this head on this Predaking, it would have been golden. I don't even care for the leg articulation in the back, although this has the best articulation in the legs, because there's a hinge here, there's rotation, and even the toes move, so very, very nice. I'm going to stop recording right now, and we're going to go on to robot mode. So as you can see, the Predakings are now in robot mode, and I'm going to do a little comparison and pretty much nitpick on either one, and say good points and bad points, and say which one's my favorite, and just yada yada yada. Anyways, so the first Predaking we'll talk about is the little Cyberverse dude. Now, I thought that this would probably be my least favorite. Actually, he's one of my favorites. Definitely beats the Voyager for me at this current time. He just looks good, you know. I like the actually I don't like the head being on the back, but I can hide that with the wings, so at least that's something. He's actually got pretty good articulation for a little Cyberverse guy. I like the gun. I actually really do like the gun. Don't know why. His head is hit or miss. Quite honestly, it's a little bit of a miss. He's got like a kind of a mohawk thing going on. And I just don't like it. Don't like that. His head looks almost flat and kind of like a spoon shape with a bunch of spikes on it. Or a half spoon or something like that. But he's nice. He really is nice. You know, he's got some things to kind of change him up. And just overall, I like that figure. Next one we'll take a look at is the Voyager one, which is my least favorite out of all these. He just, I don't think it's really the mold's fault. I think it's just my version of it. With most of it, at least. The wings are very loose, the knees are very loose, and, the gun is too, the guns are too big for him to, you know, move his arms forward and keep it like that. Even combined or not, it's just a little difficult. And his sword. I do not like the fact that he can barely hold his sword. I don't know why Hasbro decided to produce this figure when it can barely hold the sword. I mean, you want a toy that can hold the sword and for kids to play around with so that when they're like sword fighting with toys, you know, it won't fall off. This one will. And I'm just not a fan of it. I do like the head. I think he has one of the best head sculpts. I'm not sure how I feel about the Ultimate, but he definitely has a pretty good looking head sculpt. I just overall love that look. He's got some kneecaps which can move around, which is nice. I don't like the wings. I wish they were more like the Ultimate Predaking wings, but whatever. And this, again, might be something on my mold, but these are a little, just something, there's something wrong with the feet. They're a little off. But I love how the back legs transform. I really do. The back dragon legs. If you pop this off, he has waist articulation, and just overall, you know, he's got some good points. I'm not saying he's a horrible figure, it's just I need to fix him. Now, taking a look at the Ultimate Predaking, same thing goes with the weapon, but he can hold it a little bit better than the Voyager. And I can get him into certain poses to where, you know, he holds it up. But, yeah, that's a problem. But it's basically that one joint. He still has a couple of guns, which is really nice. And I love the wings, and I love how they tuck into place. I love that. This is basically how I pose the wings. It's still a little big, but at least it goes somewhere. So that's nice. The articulation on the legs are pretty bad. I mean, he's got ball jointed feet, but the knees are just lacking, and I don't know why, but the legs, they don't go with the knees. That's weird. Love the hands, love that he can actually hold the weapon, and he does have a light-up feature. He doesn't come with batteries, and I don't really care to put in the batteries, but it's there at least. You know, he is big, and I would recommend this guy on clearance, honestly. I don't think $60 is worth it, but I think he's a good figure. So, yeah. With that being said, what is my favorite Predaking out of all these? Personally, it's the Ultimate Predaking. I know that not a lot of people like that, but I'm having too many problems with the Voyager. And the Cyberverse is not exactly my cup of tea. I'm not into the Cyberverse that much. Plus, also, he's not really the best looking one. I am getting more into Cyberverse, but as of right now, I'm just not too into it. Now, with that being said, it's going to vary from person to person which Predaking is the best. Some people say that the Voyager original Predaking is the best one. Some people will say that's the worst one. Some people will say the Ultimate Predaking is the best one. Some people will say that's the worst one. Some people will say that about the Cyberverse, or the Cyberverse Oversized, or the Cryotech, or whatever. And that's what's kind of cool, is that there's so many versions of Predaking out there, but someone's going to like that or hate it. There's pretty much a Predaking for everyone. So that's what I really love about the toy line. You know, they've made like 3 different molds for the full-scale Predaking, and they all work in ways, and, you know, people will enjoy at least one of those. So that's what I really like. They don't put too many Predakings out there, but they put enough to where you can think, okay, which one would I rather get? Which one am I going to get more enjoyment out of? So, yeah, that's what I really like about Predaking. Anyways, that is pretty much it, except for one more thing that I want to talk about in this video, is that, would you guys like to see a review of the Cyberverse or the Voyager one? The reason why I'm not saying the Ultimate Predaking is because I already reviewed it. So would you like to see a review of the Cyberverse or the Voyager version? Please let me know in the comment section, and that is pretty much it. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!